Tonight, how Pullman celebrates Spring Clean Week.
And a local look at the national opioid crisis.
And a new bill to keep minors from adult sex crime charges coming up on Murrow News 8.
From the Northwest Public Broadcasting Studios on the campus of Washington State University, this is Murrow News 8.
Good evening, I'm Kanara Heinke.
And I'm Brady Frederick. Welcome to Murrow News 8.
The city of Pullman wants to make downtown more appealing. Ryan Peerboom has more on the Downtown Rejuvenation Project.
The city of Pullman wants to make Main Street better. Parts of downtown Pullman work, but there are still vacant and damaged storefronts along Main. That's why the city created the Downtown Rejuvenation Project. The initiative will create a master plan for what the future of downtown Pullman will look like. $100,000 has been set aside in order to do research and create this plan, as well as make preliminary improvements. The Downtown Pullman Association is a nonprofit organization that will assist the city in developing the plan. The association's mission is to lead and advocate for the vitality of downtown Pullman by promoting commerce, culture, and celebration. The city of Pullman's quest for a better downtown represents a bigger problem that other small towns with universities face. How do they account for the constantly changing population that cycles through the town? Allison Fisher, the Downtown Initiative Coordinator, believes it's possible to use the changing population to their advantage.
What's unique about the situation is we're constantly having a demographic of 18 to 21-year-olds, and you can count on that demographic to always be there. So it's kind of nice for businesses to know that they're going to have that demographic year to year.
The consistent demographic can create business opportunities for stores that have youthful appeal. B&L Bicycles owner Bryce Erickson thinks the downtown project is already successful in its early stages, and he observes the way downtown customers change throughout the day and how the increase in college students can be beneficial.
So you have people that are coming down to do certain things during the day, and then as those businesses are closing, it used to be that you would come down, you would see, oh, you can always go downtown in the evening and find a parking spot. Now, you come downtown at 8 o'clock, and you're going to find a lot of those spaces are filled, and that's because people are actually coming down, and they're actually doing, there's more places to do things at.
WSU student Alex Dulesky gave his thoughts on what would make him more interested in downtown.
I already think downtown Pullman is a beautiful part of town, but if we're trying to make it more desirable, I think it would need more like well-known restaurants, probably some better bars, and just things families can do as a whole, something that'll like keep them in the downtown, you know.
City Council member Eileen McCall says that the important changes to make first aren't business related, but accessibility related.
We have hired a consultant, and we're looking to put together a master plan to redo our aging sidewalk infrastructure. Our sidewalks are worn and they're in tough shape, they're broken in places. So one of the big goals for the next 2 years is come up with a plan and implement it to make our sidewalks much better for all users.
Ryan Peerboom, Murrow News 8.
A citywide event is taking place tomorrow to keep Pullman clean. Joining us live from Thompson Flats is Noah Schmick, who found out more about the Earth-Friendly event. Hey, Noah.
Hey, Kanara, I'm out here at Thompson Flats, where you can see behind me and below me that there's some green grass everywhere. The sunshine is out after all that rain this morning, but there's the champagne corks and glitter everywhere from those senior fun graduation photos of the champagne bottles. But we can clean all that up tomorrow, 8 a.m. to noon, as there is a spring annual cleanup here in Pullman. I talked to Pullman Disposal Service President Devin Felstead, who said he's excited about the cleanup.
Makes the city more beautiful, and also it's more environmentally friendly to get all the junk out of the yards and garages. We invite people to get out there. It's a way to save money, and let's just get the job done, get it cleaned up.
Felstead says that the event has been going for almost 20 years and expects a turnout of about 80 to 100 cars full of garbage to come by. He also told me that the Whitman County landfill charges $15 per truckload for putting garbage into the landfill, compared to Pullman Disposal Service, where it's only $10. Now, Kanara, this champagne cork, I'm going to go ahead and do my civic duty and throw that away. Back to you at the desk.
That's Noah Schmick reporting live from Thompson Flats. Thanks, Noah.
Last year, the cliffs were left completely littered with trash, causing them to close. Reporter Kanara Heinke comes with us now to talk about a new initiative that will help prevent pollution at the cliffs for years to come.
Granite Point, also known as the Cliffs, may look spotless now, but it hasn't always looked quite this beautiful. Last year, approximately 800 pounds of garbage was found at the park, causing it to close.
I was part of that big group of the thousands of college students that went to the Cliffs that one big weekend, and then the horrific aftermath of over 800 pounds of garbage was left and no one to clean it up.
With the warm weather finally rolling in and the Cliffs reopening, ASWSU has started a new initiative called Operation Keep Cliffs Clean.
And it kind of shocked me that we have Adopt a Block, and I was like, well, why not apply that initiative to the Cliffs at a seasonal basis?
ASWSU has strategically placed 7 trash cans around the park, encouraging students to clean up after themselves. ASWSU also hopes their cleanup crews and social media campaign will decrease the amount of garbage and prevent further pollution. The initiative currently has a list of 12 Greek chapters filled with members eagerly looking to participate.
Now we have 30 plus guys trying to get involved because they remember, a lot of the older members remember how it was last year, and they just all want to get involved. So I actually don't have enough spots for everyone to go help clean up the cliffs. So it's really, really great to see that all of our guys are really trying to get involved and keep the place clean.
Undersheriff Ron Rockness says that when public areas like the Cliffs get trashed by visitors, the enforcement team has 2 options.
If we feel we can talk to you, get you to clean the stuff up, you're respectful, you realize you made a mistake, we're probably not going to take any type of enforcement action. But, if it doesn't go that way, we're probably going to take an enforcement action, and you're probably looking at a fine.
With Operation Keep Cliffs Clean gaining momentum, Otter hopes it will eventually expand to other popular locations around the Palouse, including the dunes.
This is a great initiative to start pretty much building the infrastructure for this to be carried on more than just this semester and to other areas as well.
Whether or not the initiative adopts other favored areas in the future, it certainly has made an inspiring and helpful impact on keeping the Cliffs clean through their regular trips to Granite Point. The next clean is this Sunday. Although the crews are scheduled to clean the area, everyone is encouraged to keep the Cliffs clean and enjoy the breathtaking views. Kanara Heinke, Murrow News 8.
Thanks, Kanara. Final exams start next week, and many students are using prescription drugs to try to gain an advantage studying. I did some research, and I can confidently tell you this is a bad idea. Take a look. As college students around the country prepare for final exams, many are abusing Adderall.
It just makes me feel more focused and motivated. It's hard to reach that when I'm not on it.
Adderall is an amphetamine prescribed to those with ADHD to improve their focus. Because of this, many students take it to try to increase their performance in classwork and exams. A survey sponsored by the National Institutes of Health found that in 2016, nearly 10% of college students regularly abused Adderall without a prescription. We interviewed a WSU student who chose to remain anonymous. He said what started as an Adderall prescription spiraled into an addiction as he went beyond the recommended dosage.
I was able to talk my doctor into prescribing me extra. It wasn't that hard. All I had to tell him was that I just needed to focus a little bit more and that it wasn't doing the job.
While many think the pills are harmless, the side effects are alarming. They can include increased blood pressure, heart palpitations, seizures, heart attacks, anxiety, and insomnia. And the likelihood of these symptoms increase when users abuse recommended dosage.
I only slept 2 hours last night, and I couldn't get any more. So when you wake up after 2 hours of sleep, or just no sleep at all, you feel more groggy, more unattentive. It just makes it worse.
In 2015, research published by Dr. Carrie Benson in Clinical Child and Family Psychology Review found using Adderall to study was counterproductive, as non-users performed better academically than users. But even with these developments, there's still a black market for the drug on college campuses. The student we talked to says he sells Adderall because it has high demand and it's hard to get caught. He sells 10 to 15 pills out of every 30-pill vial he's prescribed.
Oh, so easy. If it's finals week, there's a lot of people that will just hit me up and ask for it.
WSU police have a difficult time combating Adderall trade because of the scarcity of evidence. Assistant Police Chief Steve Hansen says they have to rely on receiving tips or noticing sales occurring while investigating other business.
I mean, you're not going to sit there watching somebody doing an Adderall sale. You don't have the outward evidence of it, like the odor of marijuana is pretty prevalent and stuff. People know that. That makes it difficult.
Because of this, Hansen says the best way to deter Adderall trade is through education. WSU offers mandatory preventative programs such as e-chug and booze, sex, and reality checks to all incoming freshmen. Programs like Cougs for Recovery give students who have gone through rehabilitation the support to continue to live substance-free. The university advises anyone who struggles with addiction to schedule a confidential assessment with counseling and psychological services to ensure they get help. Brady Frederick, Murrow News 8.
The White House declared the opioid crisis a public health emergency in 2017. Murrow News 8 reporter Lindsay Jensen has more on how Pullman continues to treat the crisis today.
Americans are now more likely to die from an opioid overdose than a vehicle accident. From 1999 to 2017, almost 400,000 Americans have died from an opioid-related overdose. Through the Opioid Overdose Prevention in States program, 45 states are provided strategies to improve safe opioid prescribing practices. Pullman Regional Hospital is now carrying a new surgical procedure as an alternative to opioid prescriptions called Cooley, the first and only radiofrequency treatment to relieve chronic pain for up to 12 months.
Anesthesia traditionally used opioids as a main portion of an anesthetic, and we're moving away from that. We're moving away from that being the main analgesic for anesthesia. And pharmaceutical companies, as well as investigators in medicine, will continue to develop more and more non-opioid pain adjuncts to help fight this opioid crisis.
The WSU Pullman Pharmacy program moved to the Spokane campus in 2013. The Washington State Department of Health donated almost $90,000 to provide WSU Spokane training sessions to those pre-med students with a new curriculum and facilities to recognize opioid addiction in patients.
I don't think we have any of the courses that come close to covering pharmacology, but there should be, because we are a drug-oriented society and people need to know more about drugs. Not just drug abuse, but drugs in general.
With this national epidemic, pre-med students at WSU can take an elective class that focuses on the ethics, financial, and personal aspects of medical practices.
Before this research project, I knew it was a problem, but I did not realize how much of an impact that it has had on our society, and it is something that needs to be forced to learn so that they are aware of the situation.
There have been multiple successes in decreasing opioid prescriptions up to 85% from 2010 to 2015, such as Florida, Ohio, and Kentucky. The Center of Disease Control and Prevention wants to provide more surveillance activities to address those states' ever-changing needs. Lindsay Jensen, Murrow News 8.
Tomorrow marks National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day. Different cities around the U.S. encourage people to drop off their unwanted prescription drugs to avoid the misuse or abuse of these drugs. Pullman Police would like to remind residents that a prescription drop box is located in the police station lobby. When we return, why Spokane schools had so many isolation and restraint incidents last year.
And how Whitman County agencies raise money for a former deputy's memorial service. Next on Murrow News 8.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it. I know. Come alive with the forest. The dad was cute.
You were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course.
put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Welcome back to the show. According to other reports, Spokane public schools have the highest numbers of isolation and restraint incidents in the state of Washington. Now, new numbers show the school district saw a 21% increase in the 2017 and 2018 school year. Spokane's numbers increased by more than 1,000 incidents to 5,928. Governor Jay Inslee has signed a measure aimed at keeping youth who send sexually explicit texts from being charged under adult sex crime laws. The bill will create a new group of crimes reserved specifically for minors who are caught with explicit images of other minors, making it a misdemeanor instead of a felony. The new law will take place at the end of July.
Distracted driving poses a serious danger to safety on the roads, though most people know the potential cost. Some drivers still won't put down the phone. Justin Spinney has more.
What's the nature of your emergency?
Distracted driving remains one of the most dangerous epidemics in America. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, over 3,000 people died because of distracted driving in 1 year alone. Some of the most popular routes for students traveling to and from Pullman have distracted driving warning signs along the highway, including I-90, State Route 26, and US 195. One of these signs near Colfax contains a dedication to a Lewis Clark State College student who died in that spot while texting. People remember him as a phenomenal guy who made one mistake that cost him his life. It's the kind of call no officer wants to respond to.
I have done so many traffic stops for cars that were texting, talking on the phone. They act like they're drunk. And that's what you expect when you pull them over unless you saw the phone.
Distracted driving ends at an individual level, which is why I'm taking the It Can Wait pledge. Join me and over 35 million other people in keeping the roads a safer place.
It's magnificent the amount of attention that it takes to pay attention to a little cell phone. Even the radio. Distractions. I mean, I kind of enjoyed seeing the distracted driving laws come out.
Upon the first offense of distracted driving, law enforcement issues a $136 citation. Further offenses only increase the cost. Beyond the money, it's about making sure everyone on the road can return home safely. Justin Spinney, Murrow News 8.
Thank you, Justin. Last night was the highly anticipated debut of Avengers Endgame, and it's already breaking records. The 23rd entry in the Disney and Marvel Cinematic Universe made $60 million on opening night, surpassing Star Wars The Force Awakens for the biggest box office opening day in history. Endgame could be the first movie to earn $300 million in the United States on its opening weekend. That would break the record set by Infinity War, the previous entry in the Avengers franchise.
When we come back, what new executive order involves U.S. military background checks?
And how the measles epidemic could see major changes thanks to a new bill. Stay tuned.
To Maddie, congrats on paying off all those student loans.
Finally, right?
How'd you manage that anyway?
I started tracking my spending, changed a couple of habits.
Wow, I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck right now. I don't even know how I'm doing it.
Well, have you tried saving a little?
I want to, but where's that money gonna come from? Bill collectors, they're the worst. Am I right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
Not home.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. always wanted to be.
Welcome back. After a nice and sunny week, the rain has returned. Here's Brady Frederick with your local forecast. Is the rain clearing out soon, Brady?
Well, Canaro, unfortunately, it looks like the rain will be sticking around until at least Saturday. As we take a look at today's forecast, we do have a high of 61, but it has been raining all morning. Now, something important to look at, 17-mile-per-hour winds. Now, especially in the high points of the Palouse, you are going to see that wind hitting a lot harder than local Pullman, and that should be consistent through tomorrow. As we look, it will still be raining tomorrow, so sorry if you had weekend plans, but it's a good time to, sit back and study for finals. We're seeing highs of 49, lows of 32, so it's not going to get too cold. Shouldn't have any chances of snow. Now, as we look at our state map, up in Spokane, you're seeing a lot of the same that we have down in Pullman. But lucky for Central Washington, Tri-Cities and Yakima, they're getting a nice sunny 75 or a partly cloudy 75 in the Tri-Cities. And then Seattle and Olympia are looking pretty nice, partly cloudy, but it's a nice cool 62 degrees. Now, if we take a look at our 5-day forecast, yes, like we said, the rain is going to continue tomorrow on Saturday, but it should be cleared up, at least no precipitation for the rest of the week. So hopefully that doesn't get in the way of you studying. Back to you at the desk, Nara.
Thanks, Brady. On Wednesday, President Trump signed an executive order to place the military in charge of federal background checks. The White House believes the military is more prepared for the massive backlog of background checks for federal employees. This happens on the back of a controversy when a whistleblower claimed over 24 officials received high-level clearances despite objections. A bill to limit exemptions to the measles vaccine passes on to the governor after passing through state legislation. The bill would eliminate the personal and philosophical exemptions, but still have religious and medical exemptions available. Governor Inslee expressed his support for the bill and is expected to sign the bill. And the bill was introduced amid the outbreak that affected 73 people in Clark County. WSU will launch a fundraising effort for a memorial scholarship named after a graduate who died at Palouse Falls State Park last year. The Noble Stoneman Memorial Scholarship will support all non-traditional electric engineer students. Stoneman reportedly fell off a steep ledge above the falls just days after he received his bachelor's degree. The fund is currently in the process of being set up through the WSU Foundation. Coming up, we'll take a look into the NFL draft picks.
And the Seattle Mariners had absolutely no problem taking care of the Texas Rangers last night. We'll have all that when Murrow News 8 returns.
No more pencils, no more books, no more teachers, dirty looks.
School's out
for summer.
What this place needed was better graduation rates. So we worked with schools like Henry Ford High, and now they're up 18%.
To help us do more good this year, go to unitedway.org, because great things happen when we live united.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning. 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash? 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
Welcome back. Last night, the first round of the NFL draft picks was showcased for the 2019-2020 NFL football season. The crowd was over 100,000 people, and crowding the streets of Nashville, Tennessee. The big names of the night were Kyler Murray, who is the first draft pick from the Cardinals, and the Baltimore Ravens touched hearts when a superfan dealing with cancer and blindness is planning to announce their pick this weekend. The second round starts today, possibly catching a few by surprise, just like round 1. The day Pullman has been waiting for since the NFL Combine in February has finally arrived. Andre Dillard, left tackle from WSU, was a number 22 draft pick in the first round of the NFL draft last night, going to the Philadelphia Eagles. Dillard showed strength and determination during the Combine, catching NFL scouts by surprise. The surprise has landed him a professional career after 42 career games, and 39 of those games, he was the WSU left tackle of the year. Dillard had 677 pass attempts and rushed 24 touchdowns. Dillard is rated 3rd best overall in tackle and the top pass blocking tackle, 2nd best in screen blocking as well. And in WSU women's tennis, it was successful and unsuccessful, in defeating the number 1 Stanford Cardinal Thursday. They lost 4-0 in the quarterfinals, making it the 3rd time the Cardinals swept the Cougars. Cougs fared well in the double matches, but singles fell short of a victory, ending in overall defeat. The WSU men's golf also wrapped up the Pac-12 championships in Eugene, Oregon Wednesday in a disappointing fashion. Only 2 players shot 1 even par round in the 3-day tournament, and all golfers finished above par with double-digit scores. That finish will end the season for the men's golf team, unfortunately. But last night, the Mariners swept Texas Rangers 14-2. Pitcher Marco Gonzalez was the star of the night, striking out 9 batters and did not throw a walk until the 7th inning. This puts Gonzalez at 5 wins so far for the season. Batter Ryan Healy hit a 3-run double early on in the game, giving the Mariners a comfortable lead throughout the entirety of the game. The Mariners take on the Rangers again tonight. But also, in other Mariner news, today the team called up their number 1 prospect pitcher, Justice Sheffield. The Mariners acquired Sheffield from the Yankees in the James Paxton trade off this season. And that's all for sports today. When we come back, Moscow hosts a festival all about cats and how a gorilla photo that has gone viral when Murrow News 8 returns.
Here's your check.
Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No?
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back. Cat Video Fest is coming to the Kentworthy Performing Arts Center in Moscow. The show starts at 8 p.m. and features a 70-minute compilation of the latest cat videos that have been collected by submissions, animations, and music videos. Tickets are $10 and 10% of sales will go to the Whitman County Humane Society. Thank you for watching tonight. Be sure to watch our live newscast at nwpb.org/MN8 and on Cable 8 at 7 and 10.
And don't forget, you can also follow Murrow News 8 on Facebook and Twitter.
Have a good night, Pullman.